Hey guys, it's Maggie. Today I'm going to be doing a movie review. Um, this weekend there have been a lot of big movies coming out, like Surrogates and Fame, and I'm not going to do a review for either of those. Today I'm going to be doing a review for a very independent film called Bright Star. Now, those of you who are probably watching this are probably thinking, "What is that? I've never even heard of that," and understandably so because it is independent. It's directed by Jane Campion. And it's a period piece, so that's not going to attract many viewers. That's not usually the thing that knocks down the box office. But anyway, it's the story about Jonathan Keats, and those of you who maybe haven't had history in a while, um, John Keats is a famous romantic poet. And anyway, this is kind of about his final years, his when he encounters the love of his life right before his death. And it's all about kind of the rigid society that they live in and the passion that's kind of, busting at the seams between the two of them. And the film is supposed to be, really beautiful and lush and kind of symbolic of all the wild passion within them. And so, yeah, that's basically what it's about. Now, the movie is not really a conventional biopic. It's actually, well, it's actually about the inspiration for the poem he wrote, Bright Star, and that would be the woman that he fell in love with. Her name is Fanny Brown, or Braun, something like that. Fanny Braun, yeah. Anyway, and frankly, I'm glad it's about her rather than him, because in the movie, he's really not that interesting of a character. She's the one who's interesting. She is played by Abbie Cornish, and she is sensational in this movie. Um, she is absolutely, I mean, she's wonderful to watch. She has this kind of magnetic presence. She's got all the star quality that you could want from an actress. Her character is, tempestuous. Because sometimes she's really sensitive, sometimes she's very vulnerable, and other times she's really determined, very stubborn. And all of these qualities are very interesting, and you kind of want to break down all her barriers and find out who she is really, and what she really wants in life. And from this guy that she meets, she's wonderful. You can't take your eyes off her during the movie at all, and which is good because she's in most of the movie. But honestly, when you've got a love story and you've got a man and a woman, I want to like the woman and the man. I don't want to like just one, or else I'm not going to care about the two of them getting together. I really didn't like him at all. I mean, Jonathan Keats, there's a lot of really, you know, great stuff about him, I'm sure, and a lot of ways to make him interesting. And the screenplay did not do that in this movie. I understand that the character is supposed to be kind of awkward, sensitive, shy, because that's just, I guess, who he was. Or at least that's what, the screenplay was trying to convey. But that doesn't mean that the character has to be stale, because that's how I felt. The two of them are really, kind of shy about their love for each other. And that's very interesting because you want to see the two of them get together, because in that society, of course, everyone was very conservative, and, men didn't just go make out with any chick, like they do today. So that was kind of interesting to see the two kind of getting closer and closer. But once they got together, I really didn't care. I mean, they're together, and basically the movie just kind of is in one note for the rest of the time. It's very repetitive, and eventually, of course, he gets sick with tuberculosis. And by that point, I really didn't even care, because, I mean, his character's uninteresting. I didn't care about him. The supporting characters are really, there's nothing there, so I really didn't care about them. The only person I was interested in watching was Fanny, because she's just the best character. And so, I mean, with him, with Jonathan Keats, he was just very simplistic, and the whole film was kind of simplistic. I was expecting, when you watch the trailers to this, if you ever, after you watch this, if you ever look at the trailer, it's beautiful to look at. There's flowers, it's very lush, beautiful scenery, and you can just see that the film is trying to kind of represent the poetry, represent the words of John Keats, and it's kind of like, I was thinking that this movie would be like Atonement, because that movie is very lyrical. It's a very lyrical piece of filmmaking, and it is kind of like a piece of poetry. And all of the passion between the Keira Knightley character and the James McAvoy character in Atonement is represented beautifully through all this kind of wild, kind of artistic um, vision that's kind of painting a picture around them. But in this movie, it was very kind of minimalistic, and I was very surprised to see that, because I was, from the director Jane Campion, she's a very visionary director, and I was expecting, something really beautiful to kind of match all this wild expression. But I really didn't get that at all from this movie. I think she played it really safe. I was really disappointed in this movie. I don't think it's horrible by any means. I'd say that if you come across it, I'd say rent it. I mean, it's not a bad rent at all, but don't go out and see it. I think it's not worth the price of admission. The only reason you need to be seeing this is for Abbie Cornish. She is great. But other than that, I really don't see a reason to go see this. So I'd say rent it. So yeah. So if you've got any comments or questions, you can write it down there. And see you next time.